Yeah, man. The Bible says, Psalm number 27, the verse number 3. Jah is in control.
Young Trill on the beat.
Though an host may encamp against me, God is in control. I shall not fear, for God is in control. Oh, Lord. Hear me now. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. Deliverance is coming. How long now? Weeping may endure for a night, but in the morning joy is coming. Joy like a river. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise up. I hear the sound. I will rise up. Help me say, whom Jah bless, no man can curse. So I will rise up. I hear the sound. I will rise, yeah. I hear the sound. I am not alone. God is in control. I hear the sound. God is in control. The sound of deliverance. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yeah. Rejoice not over me, my enemies. For when I fall down 7 times, 7 times I will rise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Oh, 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 you are in control. You are in control. Oh, 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 you are in control. You are in control. You got the whole world in your hands. In your hands, Lord, you got the whole world in your hands. In your hands, Lord, you got the whole world in your hands. In your hands, Lord, you got the whole world in your hands. In your hands, Lord, you got the whole world in your hands. In your hands, Lord, you got the whole world in your hands. In your hands, Lord, you got the whole world in your hands. In your hands, Lord. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise up. I will rise up. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yes. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yeah. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. AI. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. AI. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise up. I will rise up. Hey, whom God bless, no man can curse. I will rise up, I will rise up, I will rise up. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse.
Young Trill on the beat.
Hello. All right. Happy Friday to all of you. Friday night for some of you, and it's even almost Saturday for some of you. All right. This is your show, I Talk on FBN. I want to salute all of you. You always come with something that will edify, something that will uplift, and something that will give you what it takes to reduce the human pain a little bit. All right. So my special area of focus is always going to be emotional wellness, discipleship, relationship, marriage, and other skills that I feel God has given me that I can share with the world. We don't come here because we want to. We come here because it is important that we deliver what God has given us to our generation. I'm excited today. Some of my classmates, my class students are on here. Some of them too, they are not on here, but I'm going to take some time and give a shout out to all of them. But as usual, I want to beseech you, therefore, brethren, to share and tell a friend that iTalk is on. We want to create a community of people that we can connect with every day. Our program today is going to be super exciting. A lot of interesting and intriguing things are going to be tabled today. We have finished our emotional intimacy talk from last Friday, and today we are starting something interesting, which FBN is known to tackle for a couple of days now. I want to kind of bring it from a different angle, which is abuse and how to handle it in a relationship. So we will tackle it from a totally different angle. Not what you expect, so stick around. And also, we are going to do as the usual real life story for the day. So it's going to be an exciting time. I want you to stay put. I have a special friend, a darling sister, like everything to me, that will be a spotlight today to also weigh in on the story for the day. So it's going to be really exciting. So without wasting time at all, I want you to get ready and let's all get into this atmosphere of putting our thinking caps on and zeroing in on some very sensitive story for the day. Those of you that has been following us, now we have incorporated the weekly story of the day so that we can be like Jesus. You know, Jesus always speak with a parable. And so we want to add a parable side where we tell you a real life scenario, and based on that, we can share some ideas. So I want all of you to pay close attention to what we are going to do. Kweku is on. A shout out to Kweku, and Amma is on. A shout out to Amma, and Eunice is on. Shout out to Eunice. These are all my students. Amazing. You guys are scoring good already. So let me see who else I can reach and connect to the class. But I want all of you to stay put and stay tuned, because we are going to have an amazing time on iTalk this evening. So first thing first, we are going to go and listen to the real life story for the day. And when I come, I'll read some comments, and then I will invite my guest in to also comment on it and kind of give a real hot response to the situation, the table, and then I'll also give my kind of my main response to the storyline, and then on the other side of the break, we'll talk about how to handle abuse in a relationship. So it's going to be very exciting. So I'm waiting on you to share. I'm waiting on you to call a friend, to tell a friend that iTalk is happening. All right. So we are going to, in a short while, let me pull all the comments I have received over the week, and then I will share that with you. So in a few seconds, we are going to be playing the real life story for the day. Pay close attention to the detail, and then we'll be right back to talk about it.
After my husband paid $580K for my bride price, he has refused to help any of my family members. I got married 8 months ago, My hubby earns 70K monthly while I'm yet to get a job. During our wedding ceremony, hubby spent about 580K on the list given to him for the traditional wedding. I persuaded my parents to reduce the list, but they said it is a must and a tradition. He was able to raise the money as I wasn't working at the time and I couldn't help financially. After marriage, I suggested that he should be sending something monthly to my parents as he does to his parents too. But to my surprise, the reply he gave me was that he didn't owe my parents anything, that they have collected all they are entitled to. I was not angry about that until my younger brother wanted to get married and his bride family gave him a list of things for the traditional wedding, which also amounted to about 400K. My dad then shared the expenses and told my husband to contribute 120K towards my brother's wedding. But to my surprise, my husband said no and told me that my family had collected all they wanted during our wedding and they shouldn't come to him for financial assistance. This got me angry, and I told him that he is not responsible. Ever since then, we have been living like strangers in the same house. He doesn't talk to me. He has been keeping to himself, and I have never seen him this way before, not even in our 2 years of courting. Kindly advise me on what to do to save the situation. I'm torn in between my husband and my family.
All right, welcome back. So this is a real life story. Let me try and recap. So there is a situation that has to do with a man and a woman coming together, and the traditional requirement that was placed on the man, it was a very expensive amount of money he had to come with to bring before they will allow her to to be given to him as a wife. And it was extremely expensive. um and so what ends up happening is that the wife also was not working at that time to be able to give in some kind of support. So the man shouldered all of it, right? And so from that point on, the man made up his mind that this is how everything ends. Everything ends right here, because um I have just given too much. So the wife comes back, still not working, and tells the man, if possible, can you send some money to um to my family like you do to your family. And mind you, the girl told us how much the husband make, which is a decent amount of money, but the husband didn't even pay attention to that. The wife said I was okay at that point if he's not sending any money over to my family, even though he sends money over to his family. And the thing that changed everything in this story is when the wife's brother was going to get married, and he also received a very expensive list of things that he must bring. And the father now tells the daughter, tell your husband this is the amount of money we want him to bring in to help with the brother-in-law's wedding. And the husband said, no way, Jose, I'm not doing anything like that. And so since then, the relationship in the house is going south. So that is kind of the issue on the table now. Let me see. I think that Gloria says she's on by phone. So I don't know if the producer would like to put her in somehow so that she can. So before, I mean, please work on it, but I would just like to introduce her officially. So if the producer can put the guest in by audio, that would be impressive. She will comment on it, but I wanted to read some other people's comment and see if we can glean something from me. Let me go to Ade. Ade wrote something very long. I hope that I'll be able to follow. Here's what it says. I said about today's topic. You know what? It's very sad when marriage turns bad. Especially in this case, that it's been bad from day one. I'm really in the ladies. I said I am really in the lady's shoe. It's unfortunate. The guy isn't being fair, but he also can't be blamed much. He knew from day one that if he forced to pay that, let me read it carefully. Let me take this and read it very carefully. It says now, um, so let me read it so I can get the point across. So he knew from day one that if he forced to pay that, how would he treat the lady? All right. And it says now, trust me that the guy's plan to treat the lady this way because before they officially got together. So I'm finding it difficult to read, but I think I get the gist of what she's saying. But in fact, he shouldn't have gotten married if he won't be able to forgive the lady's parents just for sake of the love he has for the lady. Okay, now the money can't be returned to him. The lady can choose to pay back the money. Neither can he turn back the hand of time and say, okay, now I won't pay. The he should understand and see the way forward in the marriage and leave the past behind. The lady should be patient, seek for counseling, involved in the man, and should not feel guilty or bad. That's a long write up. Let's pray. Okay, let's pray that time heals the guy. If not, my dear, this marriage is in trouble. All right, the lady should do all she can to make the guy see her worth and to help the guy help the marriage succeed. All right, thank you very much for sharing all of this long, interesting one. All right, so let me follow back on my guest to see how things are going. Right. Yeah, so she's in. So my producer, if you can link her in, she's in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, all right, all right. Perfect, perfect. So I am very glad and excited to have a great daughter of Zion, a great friend, a great kind of my editor, so to speak. She's been very being helpful in most of the things that I do. I call her the doctor. She's a professional educator and she is a very industrious woman. So, Dr. Gloria, thank you so much for taking your time to come on iTalk to punish somebody for me. So, please, I want to know your take on the whole story and how she has to go about things. All right, please, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Pastor. And it's a privilege to join you tonight. And I don't even know where to start from because since I read this, to me there's so many things wrong on different levels. And I think
My
we
goodness.
have to start from there.
Right.
I personally feel like that whole concept of bride price is something that
Mm,
honestly, I'm not saying it should be canceled because it's traditional, but I
right.
think it should be treated for what it is now. It's just symbolic. So
Mm,
when families are trying to put an amount to it, to me that bothers me personally. I feel like
mm,
it's just symbolic because the society that we live in, like it's a man and a woman that are contributing to the household. And
that's right.
personally, I would not contribute towards my own bride price. If I was getting
Okay.
married and my husband could not
Okay.
afford it, I would
Hmm.
insist on my family taking what he can afford. So
Wow. I
if
like
you
that.
want more, that's a problem.
Hmm.
Because I remember when I was getting married, my parents told my husband to be that whatever that if it was his sister getting married, he would be
Hmm.
pleased if they brought to his family. That's the
Right.
same thing they should bring to us. We never gave
Wow.
them a list. There was nothing. It was like, okay,
Mm,
you do it the same way you would have wanted it to be if it was your sister.
that's right.
And that is how, every family is different, but I feel like that is one of the best ways to do it. I'm not saying it's the only way, but I think it's one of the great ways to do it.
I hear
Because
you.
burdening somebody because they want to marry your daughter, especially in
Hmm.
today's society, it's not fair, first of all.
That's right.
Because you have to know that most of the time it's not the man's friend that is going to contribute. It's going to be the
Hmm.
man. And once the ceremony is just a small part. After
Right.
that, these people are going to have to live together. There's a lot
Yep.
that they have to do together as a family, as a young family. So to burden them in the first place is wrong. That's where, to me, that's like the whole thing. That is what is wrong with this. And the fact
Exactly.
that she's saying that she couldn't contribute because she didn't work. You never personally, to me, as a woman, you
Mm-hmm.
should never contribute towards your bride price because
Are
the
you
family
if the
should first
lady
of all
said
not overwhelming.
right?
You know, they shouldn't overwhelm the young man trying to come into the family. Because this
Right.
is the, I mean, look at it. The reason why I'm even saying that, look at this same family now coming to this same man, the man that
Mm-hmm.
you just charged him so much to come into your family. Now you want him to
Right.
contribute towards a family something. That's not
Mm-hmm.
fair
Mm-hmm.
because you never
Mm-hmm.
treated him like you wanted him as a son anyway. Because
Wow.
I have two
Wow.
kids, so I'm raising
Wow.
a son. So if my son is
Mm-hmm.
gonna come into your family and you want all the money from him, guess what? He's still my son now because you don't even want him in your family. That's how I see it,
My goodness. My goodness. Wow. That's deep.
right?
That's deep.
And then now let's come to, okay. So that was the first mess, but
Mm-hmm.
it's already done. Like the
That's
person
right.
just wrote, it's already done. So we can stress too much on it. So that was something the family did. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
the woman too at that point didn't know better, right? And we
Right.
live and
Right.
learn. So that's fine. So that's done. So the second thing is she getting into marriage, and it seems like she wants a job, but she didn't find one. You see, so
Right.
that premise of also getting into a relationship at that time in her life, to me, is
Mm.
tricky and wrong
Okay. Okay.
because it's one plus one that still makes one in marriage.
Okay. Okay.
So I feel like you should be a whole person. So
Mm-hmm.
personally, if I have certain goals that I haven't achieved, I feel
Mm.
like I am not ready to get married to anybody at that point
Wow. Wow.
because
But
I
what if
have to be
in
whole.
this case, what if the man said, I got you? Let's do it. If you are
But
still
but
in the
the
process
thing
of
is,
getting a job and the husband says, I love
but
you anyway, let's do it. You can get a job later.
so for what is tricky is that she keeps going back to I am still looking for a job and I didn't have a
Right.
job.
Right.
So if
Right.
the man
Right.
was comfortable, it wouldn't be a discussion. So if for
True.
some
True.
reason you're lucky enough to marry a
Mhm.
millionaire or marry a man who
Right.
says, you know what, I don't want my wife to
Mhm.
work and I can
Uh-huh.
afford it. That's a whole different conversation. We wouldn't be here.
That's true.
So that means that financially they were not even ready to get married.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the
Yeah.
second thing. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, and that's the thing with problems in life. I feel like we keep adding to the problems instead of solving them.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
premise was wrong. She was not ready first, secondly, because she
Okay.
wanted a job. So maybe she had
Right.
just finished school. She was still in a
Mm-hmm.
space where, you know what, I'm trying to get my career together.
Right.
And then she got
Right.
married. Why? That was
Mm.
unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
If you already dated this man for 2 years, he could have waited till you get your life together.
That's right.
And as a mother of boys, I come back to that. If my son ever told me he's getting married to somebody, and I'm like, okay, so can you guys afford it? And the
Mm-hmm.
question is, oh, she doesn't have a job now, she's going to get a job. I'll be like, nope, you're not getting married, little boy, until
Wow.
she sorts herself out. Because you want to marry a whole woman.
That's right.
Personally,
That's
I
right.
mean, it's not about the amount, but I want,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't just work for money. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like in career wise, like once somebody's able to find their foot there, it makes them
Mm.
a whole person.
That's right.
They have a
Yeah.
direction where they're going to. So
Yeah.
personally, if it was my child who came and told me I'm getting married to a girl and she still got out of college and she's still trying to figure out a job, I'd be like, okay, so can we give her time to get that together first?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she has to be her whole person so that together
Right.
with my son, who hopefully is whole and is not going to stress
Mm.
about bride price, because
That's
I'm not
right.
going to contribute to that because that's what you chose to do, little boy. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not contributing. I don't care if I have millions. I'm still not contributing towards it because I feel like it's a
Right.
grown man thing to do. So you should be
Okay.
ready for it before you
Okay.
get into it,
Sounds good.
right? Then there's another layer to it. So
Oh yes.
first
Oh
of all, so
yes.
now so now there's three problems already, right? We didn't even get
Mm-hmm.
to the main issue that she's talking about.
Yep.
So
Yep.
she
Yep.
getting married and thinking that it's her husband's job to take
Mm.
care of her family. That's
My
another problem.
goodness. Right. So where
You
did that
know,
come from?
first of all,
Is that the African thing?
what it's an African thing, and I think is also a very delusional thing. Because first of all, it's delusional in the sense that this man barely able to afford your bride price.
Because it was
So
expensive.
he
I
may
don't know
still
if
be in debt.
I yeah. Yeah.
Like, can we
Yeah.
be realistic?
I don't
Because
know
if
how
he
much
makes
he said
seventy
he
thousand
makes 70, yeah, 70K a month.
and he paid 480, I
That's
mean, I
it's
I
almost
don't know
four
how much
times.
he saves every month, but most of us
Exactly.
don't save that much over a 10-year period to make that 450,000,
That I agree. Yep.
right? And especially you, the lady, is now working. So this
Mm-hmm.
lady went in this thing a little bit delusional
Right.
because if she thought that man could, however he was able to afford it, she wasn't specific. For all you know, it was a loan. For all you
Mm.
know, it was a loan from the bank, which he's probably paying
Right.
interest on, a loan
Mm-hmm.
from family, a loan from
Right.
whatever it is. Like it's messy to begin with.
Exactly.
So this man is already stressed out because he probably has that bill he has to pay. And
Mm.
comparing him taking care of your family to him taking care of his parents, that's also delusional.
Right.
Because that taking care of his parents is somewhat his responsibility. And I still put
Okay.
that in
So
quotes because the world is
so
changing so
so
much
that
that
is where we want you to clarify a little bit. It looks like the comment was saying that if it goes left, then it should go right. Because once we coming together
nope.
as a marriage and you are sending something to your parents, then the marriage should send something to my parents. That's kind of the argument she was bringing across. So justify
No,
the
that's why I
fact that
said this
he has sent
this
it to his parents.
Well,
What?
well, even parents, I still put taking care of your parents in quotes because
Right.
unfortunately, in this culture that we live in, right,
Hmm.
how many of us can fully afford to take care of our parents on top of
Yeah.
our own responsibilities for our
Mhm.
nuclear
Mhm.
family,
Right.
right? So even our parents are realizing that if you don't have
Hmm.
retirement income, if you don't have 401k, if you did not
Right.
save, too bad because your kids can afford to take care of you.
You're right. Yes.
It's a
Yes.
hard
Yes.
reality. Like I'm still a very young mom, but that is something I think about because I
Mm.
don't see my boys growing up and
Right.
saying that okay, mommy's in our budget and we have to send her $200 or $300 every month. Because
Hmm.
first of all,
Hmm.
that would not be enough for me anyway,
That's right.
right? But even that, I feel like whatever we do for our parents is just a token. But I
Mm.
don't think many of us are fully taking care of our parents like it used to be. Things have changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I
know
agree.
so that even taking care of your own parents is now something we just do, we just
Hmm.
do in quotes because we barely doing it like we're supposed to. But then to think that this young man has to take care of also his in-laws is too much. You
Mm. Okay.
overburdening him, he
Okay.
cannot.
Okay. So
And it
then
comes back to
before
what
you
the
go to
initial
the
problem.
bigger challenge, I wanted to ask. So in this case, if the woman was also working and she was sending something to her family, it would have kind of been okay or no? If
Of
she
course
was
that would have
working
been
and
fine.
all right, cool. I see what you're
Yes,
saying.
yes. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't do it, but what I'm saying is that realistically, how much are we able to afford outside taking care of
It's
our
just
main
right. It's a
responsibilities
little
of
bit
our
that we give to
parents?
them. Yes, it's just to honor them, but it doesn't really take care of them.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't think parents nowadays are sitting there thinking that my child is going to grow up and take care of me. Especially
Right.
like people my age, I don't think we're thinking that our children are going to take care of us fully. I think we're planning ahead, hopefully that we
Mm,
save enough so that we good.
that's right.
Right?
I
So to
agree.
me, the lady is delusional to think that her husband can afford her because now
Mm,
technically you're not working, right?
right.
And then to afford his family, which is his responsibility to a certain extent.
Right. Okay.
But
I
in-laws
get it.
should not be another bird layer on top of all the burdens this young man has. That is not fair.
Mm, true. True.
So she
And
she has
and
to snap out of it. Like she has to
and I'm
snap out
glad
of that. He can
she
do it.
did. She did said she was okay. According to her, she said
She don't have a
when
choice
she brought
because he can do it.
when she brought the idea and the guy said no way, she was fine. Now I think you are getting to now what the main
The
problem
main
is
thing is,
now.
and then
And
the
then
other thing
you're
is
requesting for
for her to even bring it up was a problem, right? But her saying
mhm,
she's fine with it, well, she has to be fine because he just cannot.
right.
And I feel like
Mhm,
maybe the other problem is also, well, before the main thing is their communication, right?
mm,
I don't
mm,
think
mm.
realistically this girl knows how much the husband really has.
Okay.
Like she's calling out amounts, but does
Hmm.
she know that okay, this 70,000? Because I'm sure this is in like in Africa, right? But if it
Right.
was over
Right.
here, the fact that I tell you I make $200,000 a year doesn't even actually bring $200,000 a year home.
Exactly. Exactly.
So my
Yeah.
reality is not $200,000.
Hmm.
After
Hmm.
taxes, I'm probably just bringing 120,000 cash home.
Right.
right? So
True.
I think that comes to the foundation of their marriage, because
Mm.
you should realistically know that this is how much my husband can afford. And I think it comes to
Mhm.
transparency too, in the sense that
Right.
if you know how much I make and you know how much I pay for rent, whatever, you know that when I'm done, I only have 20 CDs left or 20 naira,
Mm.
whatever left. You shouldn't expect me to send that to your mom.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
maybe that's another problem there too, because they're not
Mm.
communicating properly in terms of finances.
I
Then the
agree.
main problem. The main problem here is, first of all, like I said, as a mother of sons, nobody should be contributing towards anybody's bride price, period.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be a family problem when my son wants to get married.
Mm.
It should be his problem and his alone. And if he's not ready, well, young man, give yourself a few more years, get it together.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's not a thing like we're going to help you get married, because once we help you get married, guess what? What if now you have a baby?
Mm.
Now, who's going to help take care of that baby too?
That's right.
So maybe they all need to step back and figure out their finances before a baby comes into the family, because children are expensive. Very expensive, if you ask me.
All right. I think I will keep you. Please don't go anywhere. Even if your boys need you, tell them you are on the show. All right. I'm going to read a comment from Lady Eunice here, and then you will tackle the main issue of the in-laws. I mean, the brother-in-law's money apart. But I think I know where you're going to put it anyway. All right. Says first of all, the family of the lady isn't considerate at all, and they are greedy as well. It's funny they expect the in-law to pay a part of his brother's brother-in-law's wedding when they were unwilling to support their daughter's marriage. Wow, that's deep. She always bring deep stuff.
Yep.
It isn't mandatory for the man to be paying for it isn't mandatory for the man to be paying her family every month when she contributes no money, right? Okay, so the man shouldn't give any money to the family. My advice to the lady is she should get a job. I think she should get a job and be sending money to her family in the name of the husband. That's sweet. All right, maybe doing so she might be able to change the mind. All right, I like that. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. That's so true. All right, let me see if any other comment in play, then I will let Dr. Gloria come in. But you are dissecting this issue very well, and I appreciate your input on that. So please continue. There isn't any other comment. So
Yeah.
let's
So
see
I
how.
mean, I agree with what you just read about
Right.
from Lady Eunice, because I
Hmm.
mean that's the bottom line. That's where it comes to, right? It comes to
Right.
the point that, so this woman, the whole somebody having to pay for somebody's bride price, that just gets him in the wrong way. Like, no, that's
Mm.
not anybody's
Right.
job.
Right.
If
Right.
you're ready
Right.
to get married, you have to figure that out, or you're not ready, and that's fine if you're not ready. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's a time for everything. It just may not be the time. I'm not saying don't get married. Listen, marriage is a
Mhm.
beautiful thing, but I feel like if the foundation, it's marriage is difficult even when everything is done right.
That's right.
Even when you try to dot all your I's and cross all your T's, marriage can still
Mhm.
be challenging as it is. But
Right.
especially when it's messy to begin with, like don't just compound the problem.
Yes.
You know, so that's my thing. So yes, the man doesn't have to contribute definitely to the bride price, and she should not even, like, even if me not knowing their full expenses, I'm still worried for this young man, because if he's making 70K and
Hmm.
his wife is not working in
Right.
today's economy, I don't know how they survive it.
Right.
You know, so it must be financially challenging for him as it is. So she should
Mm.
not have brought it up to him, period.
At all.
And
At
well,
all.
she did already. So now we have to try to figure out how to solve that problem.
Yeah.
So
So
she
now,
owes them an
how do
apology.
we? Who holds who up? Okay, this is the solution you are bringing, right? So who should apologize? You said
Yes. Oh,
who?
the
Who
lady
should
needs to
apologize?
apologize to her husband. Like
Okay, that's
lay
the
on the
first thing.
floor, pretend to cry, everything.
Okay,
like,
that's the first step,
like,
right?
yes, you have to go
And
all out,
and what
like, because you have to
and then
let him get it.
what is the next step after that?
And then she has to find a job.
That's the number two. So first,
I
apologize to the
mean,
husband, and then to find a job.
apologize to the husband, and she has to be genuine about it, because she did something wrong. For her to even put that burden on him, that's stressing him out,
That's
right? And that's the thing. That's why people react to situations differently. So maybe his way is to shut down, because he
right.
feels like and I'm sure he has a lot going on in his head. He's probably thinking, this lady does not care about me. She just came here for her
Right.
family. She just,
Right.
so
Yeah.
she has to fix that. And to fix that for a man who decides to shut down instead of talk about it, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So she will have to prove that now I'm on the side of this man. Because she could have easily told her dad that, Daddy, that I'm not working. So he cannot help. She didn't even have to come to her husband. So and that's my problem. Like, she should have shut that whole situation down from her family before
Yes,
even coming to
I
the man.
agree. I agree. I
If
agree.
if I would have told my husband, I would have told him as a joke, just to let him know what my dad said. I'll be like, listen,
That's right.
can you
Right.
imagine my dad thought that we could help? Because like we
Uh,
say, you don't have to. It's not about him anymore. It's us. So realistically, I would tell him and I'll laugh about it because I'll be like, listen, can you imagine my dad thought that we could actually help contribute this much towards my brother's bride price?
right. Right.
That way he realizes that if you tell him that from that angle, he sees that you're on his team.
Right.
Because it's the
Right.
two of you against the world once you get married. But her
And you know what
approach
is
is still
interesting
too much
actually?
family.
Even in the whole question, she said, I'm torn between my husband and my family. So he doesn't even see the husband as a family. He still think he belongs to where
That's
he's,
the
I mean,
problem.
she belongs to where she's coming from. So that is the mindset we're talking about. Yeah.
Exactly.
The husband
So
is her
there's
family.
there's a lot.
Like
That's what I'm saying, that there's a lot fundamentally wrong with the whole.
right.
I don't think maybe fundamentally she was not even ready to get married yet,
It's
because
possible.
she's still attached to her family that she came from, right? Which is not
Right.
a bad thing, but I feel like once you're ready to be grown up, you have to be grown up.
Right.
So that's that's what I'm saying. Like, even if the husband had the money, the way she approached him, she would not give it. He doesn't have it, which I think he doesn't
Right.
have it, honestly. But even if he did, like, you coming to me saying that you have to do this because it's my brother, no, I don't have to do it because it's your brother.
Right.
you know
Looks
so
like
so she needs to
they paid like
apologize.
a bill that they have to pay. And I don't understand
Exactly.
why it's coming from that angle.
But my point
Perfect.
is, you never treated this boy as a son, the father.
And that
I'm
was
talking
a
to the
very powerful
father-in-law.
point. That's a very powerful point. I really agree.
Yeah. Yeah, he was never treated right to begin with, and he squeezed money out of stones, literally, just to marry your daughter because he loved her. So that was a good thing for him to do. But I also think that fundamentally, nobody should even do that. You shouldn't. Like, I feel like if it's to the point where you really just cannot afford it, well,
Right.
you both have to come up with a plan. Like, okay, so is this more important to me, or I'm more concerned about satisfying what my family wants?
That's right.
And
That's
you,
right.
the woman that, if like last week you were talking about rules of love, and you said
Mm-hmm.
one of them is choosing a person over
Right.
situations. If I'm right, I'm not sure if I'm getting the terminology right. Right. So she should have chosen her husband even then over her family.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So
Yes.
in your words, she broke a law of love.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Right. You
I
see, I'm
totally
getting it, Pastor
agree.
Kwame. Right.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Awesome. Awesome. All right. I hope you don't go nowhere. We're going to take a break, and then when I come back, I will give my comment, and then we will share some few tips on how to handle if relationship abuse. And I'm sure doctor also has some help on that topic to also share in. So we will be right back. Send in more comment questions about this, the real life story, and I'll promise I'll read it. But I'll be back, and then I will give my take on this story, and then we will touch a little bit on how to handle abusive relationship. This is your show, I Talk, and you are watching FBN. God bless you. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, I want all the students to share the show so that it will get to your platforms, and then we will get people to kind of learn and enjoy the class. Yadel, please share. Lady Eunice, please share. My producers, they're already sharing it, and I want to appreciate all of you. Um, let's see if there's any comment. Kweku, please share. Ama is having a network issue, but please share. All right, so it was Dr. Gloria who gave a very good analysis of the situation. So let me kind of put. So when I come in, I understand all the practicalities, but I try to see how I can pull the major things out of it. So here I want to comment on some things, and I try to. So this is where I want somebody to type, because I want to kind of make it into a bullet point where you can use a principle to navigate through life, so to speak. All right. So right from the top, what we are looking at is what I call the misunderstanding of bride price. Misunderstanding of bride price, right? What do I mean by that? So the bride price is not the list of things you bring, but the list of qualities in the person you are receiving. Let me say it again. The bride price is not the list of things on the paper you are bringing, but the list of good qualities in the person you are receiving. So it's better to give $1 and treat the girl $1 million than to give $1 million and treat the girl like $1 at home. So family will not buy this, but truth must be told. So bride price is not the thing on the list. Bride price is the qualities in the person coming to the house. Do you understand that? So you don't know the value of the marriage until you know the qualities in that person, that man. So a list you should look for is the character quality of the man coming to take your daughter. That is the true bride price. You understand that? So that is the first point I want to emphasize, that let our fathers make a mistake and go. But when it gets to our turn, I'm speaking to my generation. If you want to know the real bride price, it is not the list of things you have given the guy. It's a list of things that is in the heart of the guy that he is bringing to the family. So if my producer is right, so type the misunderstanding of bride price. And true bride price is the character content of the husband, not the cash content of the husband. You understand? So notice that is where everything goes down from there. You want to receive just $1 and let the girl be treated like $1 million at home, than to receive $1 million and the girl be treated like $1 at home. Does it make sense? So that is the first principle I want you to apply, that a true bride price is the character list of the husband, not the cash that he is bringing to the family. And I like what Dr. Gloria said. It should be seen as a token, as a symbol. I remember there's a joke about a bride price. In the bride price, they presented everything on the table. The piece of cloth, the laptop, all of that. And then there was this funny item on the table. They wasn't sure what it was. They had wrapped something around it. And then the MC of the occasion took that and started unwrapping it and wrapping. So what is a toys in this? And after they unwrap everything, it was a pin, just a safety pin. And they asked, what is this? And the husband said, a time is going to come that some of you will say, he didn't even buy me a pin. He didn't even buy me a pin. So this is the pin I bought you. So that everybody will know that I bought you a pin. So the bride price itself is a token, which how much can you eat? How much? You understand? How much? Even they collected all that money, they couldn't save some to do their own son's wedding. You understand? So true bride price is the list of qualities in the heart of the man, not the list on the paper. All right. If you understand that, then I think my top job is done. The second thing on the table that I want to address is how to handle offense, right? So what we are looking at, the guy's aspect of the situation is how to handle an offense and not be like and not be put in a situation where the offense now goes with you going forward. Do you understand that? So always dealing with offense is very, very important that you don't, because an offense is like the misalignment of your vehicle. One bad pothole and the alignment in your car will just shift a little bit, and it will stay like that. And for the rest of your life, you will be off by an angle in life because of how an offense tilts the way you see things. So a great offense was presented to the boy when he was getting married, and he couldn't overcome that offense. And from that point on, it tilted everything about him. Now, let me say this. Always remember what life has presented you. Whenever somebody offends you, all you see is the bad in the person. But I want to tell you that this same bad situation, a time may come where the girl's family will be a blessing to this man. Think like that. When you are offended, think like that. It is now that they have offended you and put you in a very dark place. But I want you to understand that it is possible that time, I have noticed that life is that funny. It is possible for a time to come where the same guy who has been offended so painfully and now has decided to not care about the family at all, a time may come in life where this greedy family, this I want to eat all your money family, a time is going to come that life can play some moves where they will be a great blessing to this boy. Do you understand? And so I'm saying this to say that you must therefore position yourself in a way that the people that you has surrounded your life, there's always a way where you have not allowed offense to cause you to be sour with them, even though they will be the one that will cause it. So I want to emphasize on how to overcome an offense so that the people in your life, you will understand that there's a purpose why they are in your life. And if you can create not a sour experience with those who hurt you, but find a way to overcome the offense and build a relationship with them in such a way that there will be a free flow, then you are doing life very well. So the brother is in a very tight corner. But the advice from this angle is that don't let offense continue to enslave you. Now, here is one thing that happens. When you are adequate, Dr. Graham hit the point, he's not fully rich, but he's adequate. When you are adequate, you tend to hold offense for a long time. When you are adequate, when you can handle things, you tend to hold offense for a long time. If he wasn't doing well financially and there was a way where the girl's family could have helped him in one way or the other, if the things have turned and the girl's family was lucrative and they had jobs and opportunities, then the offense might not last long. Even though they put him through that bad condition, he will see that there's a lot of light, there's a lot of blessings that my in-laws can bring my life. So he will throw the offense away that quick. But here's a way that, because the in-laws doesn't look like a blessing, but rather a parasite, it has caused him to hold the offense for a long time. All I'm saying on that note is that don't let offense put you in a place where the only thing that you see about the person who's offended you is a sour experience. Overcome that one experience. And so here's the thing: overcome that painful ordeal and jump over it and bring yourself to a healing place. And I'm going to talk about how that will happen. Bring yourself to a healing place where you don't have a sour relationship with people that are in your world. Now, going to the wife, a lot of good things has been said about her. For her, she is called to be the healer and the protector of the husband from her family. Her job is to heal the offense. Right from the day they gave that money for him to pay, the boy was hurt and offended. The job of the wife is to heal that offense. And you heal that offense quickly by finding a job. That's the first way you heal the offense in the husband's heart. By finding a job is a step to heal. And then the second thing is what Lady Eunice said. After you find a job, then you give money to your family in the name of the husband. And then you minister to the husband in a very deep and a very caring way, always singing a song of praise about how David killed 10,000. Tell him, my man is coming. The one that makes 580,000 happen, even if it's not there. You have to give him accolade. You have to kind of make his head swell that this is a miracle worker. Let me serve you my food. So you have to bless this boy until healing takes place. You understand? And whilst you are doing that, you protect him from the parasitic attitude of your family. Fight when your father is on the phone with you, talking about money. Fight. As soon as the husband is coming, you hang up and say, oh, it was a credit card call. You understand? Don't let the husband know that your family wants more money until the healing has complete. You see the picture now. So there is, from the top, there is a misunderstanding of what the true right price is. On the husband's side, offense and his dependency has caged him, unfortunately. And then the wife is the healer who doesn't know how to heal, but rather as confused as she is. So in solving this problem, the husband must put himself in a place where he will heal from the offense. Because I'm telling you, people, if I don't say anything today and you hear this, the people that have offended you today will be the people that will bless you tomorrow. I am not old as that, but I have seen that life goes on circles. The people you call enemies today, you'll be surprised when things happen. How? So always and always, except there are people that are not connected to you by family of a kind. If it's an in-law, if it's a cousin, if it's somebody, that means that you have no choice. They have become part of your world. And those are the people that will offend you most. But you have to do everything in your power to jump the offense, put yourself in a healthy place, and make sure that the relationship is cordial. Because you never know. You never know. I'm telling you, you never know where a day will come where your life has been put in a tight place. And this same in-law. So I am not supporting giving money, but I'm saying that because let me say it like this and we go to class because we don't have time. In actuality, if all things were equal and the guy was now offended, right? The family's demand on the husband and the wife is a demand that you have many ways to solve that demand, knowing that your family is too greedy about things. You don't just say you are too greedy. You just say, oh, Papa, we came. We will love to support, but this all we have one city. You understand what I'm trying to say? So there's a way you can keep a cordial relationship by satisfying them with something that they will just shut up. Do you see what I'm trying to say? They will go home and mama, but still they can't call you a curse. You understand that? So there are many ways to handle greedy people. You understand? Because the goal is to keep a relationship such that it is not sour. You understand? That's what I'm driving at. So in conclusion, I strongly believe that we should understand what a true bride price is. And secondly, we should always do our best not to be trapped by an offense that makes you sour towards people that are in your world. Do everything to overcome it and stand in such a way that if a blessing comes from that camp, they will remember you. Sometimes, whatever you do, they won't remember you, but at least know that I am not in a sour terms with these people because I overcame the offense and I'm handling them with wisdom. There are a lot of problems in every side of marriage. There are some people, their mother-in-law, they talk too much. But you have to understand that is how you are a mature person. Nobody comes perfect. Every house has issues. There's a way you handle it where you don't abuse yourself on their behalf, but there's 10,000 ways to tell somebody no without offending them. And some people that will be offended will ever be offended, but I want to bring that balance in there. So to solve this problem, the wife should be a healer, the husband should receive healing, and then the two of them should now do their life beautifully, and the wife should protect the husband from the family every blessed day. Protect. Don't let the husband hear anything. Just protect him. Just protect him. Give what you can, protect him. Let him find out later that you are protecting him on that front until healing takes place and the two of you come together, and then you begin to dial down the demands of the wife's family until things come. So save people, save relationship. That is the goal. Work, it says, Bible says, do everything to live at peace with all men. That is what it means. Do everything not to lose people. It's better to lose money than to lose people. You understand? So do everything. It's not easy. Do everything. You have to be wise. You have to be tactical. But the whole idea is keep the relationship alive by being tactical about it, so that things are going in a way that you don't have any issue with in-laws. You don't have any issue with that person. And I'm not saying that is going to solve every problem, but the Bible says, as much as it lies within you, as much as it lies on your end, live at peace. So do everything in your end that this guy did his possible best. When they asked for 1 million, he put $1 in an envelope and drove to them and tell them, I love this family, but that's all I have. They say, stupid boy, but he still gave. So I'm saying, so do everything in your power to be at peace with people, because you never know where your help come from. All right, thank you very, very much for staying with my point. I hope it makes sense today. What is it? What a controversial definition. Wow, that's what our pastor is saying. All right. Some call it family contribution. All right. So there are some other things that are being played out here, but this is what I strongly believe should be the issue. So for what is that controversial definition that you were saying? Please elaborate. Let me go on my WhatsApp to see if there's anything on there. I've exhausted all my time already, but let me just give one. We will come back and do emotional. We'll come back and do abuse, but let me just wrap up because our time is up on a little token that I want you to have, right? So abuse is a measure of harm. Do you understand? Abuse is not what you are going through. You can't measure abuse by what a person is going through. You measure abuse by the harm it is causing the person. I have a statement that a doctor will cut you to heal you. An evil man will cut you to destroy you. It's the same cut, but one is for healing, one is for destruction. So if you use the cut to define the abuse, you get it wrong. You use the healing and the damaging to define the abuse. So the end result is how you measure the abuse. You understand? Also, in conclusion for the show today, I want you to understand that God is so good that the point of harm can be regulated by the abusee. Let me say it again. An action is being made, and then harm happens to the person. For example, let me give you, I insult you very painfully. Once you hear the insult, God has made it such that how deep it sinks into your heart can be regulated by you. Do you understand? So the first thing I was going to share was, in times of abuse, you should be able to put on all your protective things on, so that you reduce the point of harm. Because I want to tell you, the same doctor who is cutting to heal you, if you don't take care, that cut will harm you because opre. You understand? So there is a part you play so that you don't look like you have gone through abuse, because you were able to let things bounce off you. Now I'm talking about those verbal and those kind of abuse that are not as physical. But what I truly want you to understand is, I'm coming from the angle of, once you are served an abuse, you have the right to decide how much you want it to damage you. You understand? So you have to defend yourself emotionally, defend yourself physically, defend yourself spiritually. And the only way you can defend yourself from emotional abuse is to be a person like Paul. Paul said, when they arrested me, it has caused people to start new ministries just to put pain in my soul. People are preaching about, I have been put into jail because I dilute Christ. People are saying all things which is supposed to hurt me more. But Paul said, when I heard this verbal abuse, I position myself mentally to see it as the spreading of the gospel. Do you see that? So I want you to understand that you should be able to, as much as lie within you, protect yourself, because you can't you can't prevent an abuse, because evil men are everywhere. But you must put yourself in a place where you don't take the abuse you're saying and milk it and meditate upon it. The bad things the guy did, you take time and you just meditate. You let it sink into your heart and you think about it day and night, and it's eating you, rotting you on the inside, it making you very sad, and you are just enjoying it. And this is what he did yesterday. It's like you are kind of as you are kind of enjoying that thing. The more you do that, the more the abuse eats you up. So the first step I was going to show you to handle abuse is to make sure that you have built yourself in such a way that when people bring things to really dampen your spirit, to really break you, to really make you into a broken person, you find a way to interpret it in such a way that you are bouncing off some of the harm. Do you understand? This on the lighter side. We'll talk about the bigger side, but I wanted to start with that there's a way you can behave where the abuse will not stain you like they wanted to. There's a way you can behave where the plan they had against you will not. He said you meant it for evil. The same action, this abuse you gave me, you wanted to kill me, but it has turned to be God's tool for my blessing. So if you arm yourself with this kind of thought, then you're not going to be emotionally dwindle. Because I told you, when a fish comes out of water, it is not the outside water that kills a fish. It is the shaking of its body. when it comes out of the water, it's in a new environment. But it dies quick because it keeps shaking its body. If it lies down on the ground, it will not die immediately. But it's the shaking, the uncomfortable shaking of his body that makes the fish die when it comes out of the water. So whenever you're in an abusive situation, you can swallow more of the abuse, or you can protect yourself in such a way that I have been through this, but he couldn't break my spirit. I have been through that, but she couldn't break my spirit. So until you come out of the abuse, put on the jacket, put on the seatbelt, and live your life in such a way that your head is strong, your heart is strong, and you cannot be broken. If it wasn't for what I'm teaching, there wouldn't be strong African Americans still in America, because slavery was brutal. Slavery was brutal. But you can't break the spirit of a man who refused to be broken. You can't break the spirit of a woman who refused to be broken. So they can take everything, but you can't take who I am. Spit on me if you want. Slap me if you want. But I am who I am by the grace of God. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for today. We pray that you help us to become all that you want us to be. Amen. Hope you enjoy the show. Same time next week, I'll be with you, and then we're going to talk about how to handle abuse in a relationship. God bless you.
Jah protect. One loud America.
Oh na 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 na. Let your faith be stronger than your fear.
Hey, in the midst of this fear, I find faith. Knowing you well is my strength.
In the midst of this fight, I find strength. Knowing you well is my strength.
Uja, my God.
My strength
is in you.
Oh na 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 na.
It is time, say. Ask me not, oh Janjo Savior, oh.
I will rise again when I fall. 7 times I will rise in your name.
Let the weak proclaim, I am strong. I've been made strong by the hand of Almighty. Through Jah, my God. It is time to favor Zion now. Oh Lord.
Oh yeah. Set time is his set time has come to favor you and me, yeah.
Na, yeah.
Come on, if you believe, say set time has come, yeah.
It is time, oh Lord.